everybody, and welcome to another video here on Philly Sports Network. Today is a special day for two reasons. Number one, it's Sunday Funday! God, I hope no one's in the office next door. And two, we hit 20,000 subscribers. It's a feat I genuinely didn't think we'd hit with this channel, at least not for a very long time, as much as I've always kind of grinded to grow this as big as we can. So a massive thank you. Like, the last 12 months of this channel have been so much fun. We've had people like Mike Adams join for a special live stream, giving you an exclusive and a unique insight into the life of what it's like to play in the NFL and against players such as Carson Wentz. We had the NFL draft live stream where over 40,000 of you joined us, and we had that deafening moment. The boys! Come on! I've got a draft crush as an Eagle! We had the post-game streams last season where we got our Discord server involved. If you want to be a part of that server, there is a link down in the description below. And more than anything, we delivered content that you guys enjoyed, and that was the biggest thing for us, just consistently finding ways to bring you content you enjoy. Knowing you genuinely want to come back for more, you genuinely support what we do, it means absolutely everything. And in a time like this where there is so much uncertainty in the media world due to the current outbreak of COVID-19, it means absolutely everything that you're still coming back to this channel. You're still trying to get your Eagles fix, even though nothing is happening in the sporting world right now. You guys truly are the best fan base on the planet. We are so lucky to have such a wonderful family here at Philly Sports Network, and I'm genuinely so grateful for every single one of you. So I just wanted to preface this by saying a massive thank you to anyone that's even so much as watched a video, subscribed, commented, or said I should stick to soccer, because hey, that helps us grow as too, right? I wanted to do, since we've hit a big milestone, was do a Q&A. I think I did one at 10,000 as well, and just every 10,000 answer some new questions, maybe new subscribers to the channel who don't know the backstory of PSN or have always had a question on their mind. So I thought it's a good idea to answer some of your questions and dedicate an entire video just to what you guys want to know. So we're going to start off with Anthony, who says thoughts on potentially getting new jerseys in the next couple of years. Now, when I first read that, because the new was capitalized, I thought he meant New Jersey, and I was like, is Philly taking over New Jersey? Like, hey, I know they've been living rent-free in the Giants' head for quite some time, but let's not, you know. There's definitely a push to get the Kelly Green jerseys back, and I feel like it is a generational thing. Like, if you grew up with that, you resonate with that jersey more. Like, for me, when I first discovered the Eagles, the midnight green they used almost had that metallic finish. I feel like the jerseys now, with the current range of Nike jerseys, are very like matte green, whereas back then they were glittery and they looked so cool under the lights and so silky. So I'd prefer that, if I'm honest, that Brian Dawkins era level jersey. But I understand the appeal for Kelly Green. It's not my favourite shade of green. I'd love an alternate of the blue and yellow colours, the city colours of Philadelphia. I'd be all for it. I think it'd be cool as an alternate to have like a colour rush jersey as Kelly Green. If you go all one colour, they'd look like Power Rangers. I'd be absolutely for it. And you can just imagine the franchise swag of once again seeing Deshaun Jackson in a Kelly Green jersey. It would be amazing. I think the classic helmet is absolutely gorgeous. I'd love it, but I wouldn't lobby for it as much as everyone else, because my heart is with that metallic green, you know, that gorgeous sort of finish on the helmet and the jerseys. So I personally prefer that. But hey, I'd be happy with either. Do an Eagles film room on Sidney Jones, because I feel like he's the best option at CB2. If we pick Avonte Maddox, we're being conservative, and congrats on the 20k. I think that's an interesting perspective. I don't want to spoil it just yet, because again, we've got such a long way until football resumes. I've been stockpiling film room ideas. I've got Darius Slade to go through. I've got Kes Watkins, which has been one of the most heavily requested videos. I just did one on Jalen Hurts. We've got a lot to do, but a series that I really want to focus on is this like cornerback war sort of narrative where you genuinely have Cravon LeBlanc versus Nickel Roby-Coleman, where you've got Sidney Jones versus Avonte Maddox. Just partnering up these battles, going into the film room, looking at what each corner does well, where they can improve, what best fits what Schwartz wants. That's something I'm going to have a lot of fun in doing. So stick around for that. I promise you a film room is coming. It's a very intriguing debate between Sidney Jones and Avonte Maddox. I'm hoping to get that out either next week or the week after. So stay tuned. Stay pasty. And I'm assuming it's pasty and not pasty, because we have pasties in England and they're a weird snack. But if you want to stay pasties, I'm not a big fan of them. I don't like the potato, but beggars can't be choosers. Hey Pasty has said, did you have dreams of doing what you're doing now at Philly Sports Network? Love your channel. Thank you so much for the support. I know you've been one of our most vocal supporters over the recent few months. And yeah, I suppose I did. When I first started the website, it was very much like I woke up one day and something clicked. I was 19 years old at the time. I was in the broadcasting industry. And for those who don't know what I did before Philly Sports Network, here's a brief look.
Very well changed with GT3 for the first time in a long time. They're egging him on. Osborne goes to the inside of Stowe. Yes. It should be a straightforward manoeuvre. No fight from Al Harvey. And a BMW of AAA is in the lead of the race.
So for me, I gained a lot of my skills in terms of being on camera and toning a voice and excitement and pacing from that industry, but I hated having to kiss my way up. And my other passion was always American football, more specifically the Eagles. I wanted to try and go, well, if I could combine my passion with my skill set, then maybe, just maybe, there's a niche. So I told myself a bit of advice I had at the time, which was it takes 5 years to blow up overnight. I set out with a 5-year plan. We found the right people, we started grinding, and over time things just fell into place. And last year I was able to walk away from my part-time job, but my only ever goal was to do this full time. So I've been doing that for a year now. I think the last 2 months specifically have been very, very challenging, just with the COVID outbreak and the impact that's had not only on the sports industry but media, and trying to run a sports news company when there is no sports going on is hard, alright? It is really, really stressful. I'm only 25 years old and I'm still trying to learn a lot about how to turn something from a hobby into, oh my god, now I'm running a business. I've got more taxes and more financial responsibilities. I've got a team to run of individuals. I've got to be a manager. So there has been a lot of adjustment, but the dream was always, the second I started that website, to do this full time. So I never envisioned anything different. I know I've said this story before. I think that the video where I said I was quitting my old job to do this full time. I used to wake up at 6 a.m, get a train at 7 a.m. to go to work. Then from 8 until 9, I would work on PSN. I'd work 9 until 6, but I would do PSN on my lunch break. Then from 6 until 7, I would do PSN. Get a train home at 7, do PSN. Do PSN when I'm at home until about 3 in the morning. Pass out and do it all over again. And after 2 years, that kind of burned me out a little bit, but it got us to a stage where I could step away from my other job. I could do this full time, so I think that's probably the most insightful answer I could give, that I've always been so driven and tunnel visioned on doing this full time. I always envisioned it. It was never a plan B. There was never, oh, well, if this fails, what next? It was always that this is going to happen, whether it takes a year, whether it takes 10 years, whether it takes 20. And seeing the YouTube channel grow alongside that has been such a blessing. Lord Batman said he wants a film room on Sean Bradley and Nicole Roby-Coleman. They're coming, my friend. Bear with me. At W says, LJ, when are you coming to visit us in Philly? Dude, you can borrow my car if you need. We got you. Alright, first part, I can't drive, so please don't lend me a car unless you don't want to get it back, because it'll end up in a ditch somewhere. But seriously, guys, I was meant to be coming to Philadelphia in April for my birthday, and to celebrate the fact we had 10 million views on our website, and unfortunately, that didn't go to plan for obvious reasons. So I am coming out hopefully a little bit later this year. There will be meetups, there'll be tailgates, there'll be competitions, there'll be live podcasts, there'll be so much stuff that we are looking to do with you. So keep your eyes out. As soon as it's safe to travel, as soon as I'm allowed to travel, I absolutely will. Harry Berry says, how did I become an Eagles fan? Which I guess relates to an earlier question. Essentially, I was 14 years old and I really wanted an Xbox. I really, really wanted an Xbox 360 to play online on Halo 3 with my friends. What I got was an Xbox 360 and a Madden 08, which I had no idea what it was. So I started playing Madden 08, I randomly selected a team, I started enjoying it. That team happened to be the Eagles. So when I started following the sport full time, the only players I knew were from that game. So a year or 2 years later, when I was watching those highlight videos at school on my lunch break, it would be Deshaun Jackson, it would be LaShawn McCoy, and I really resonated with that blue chip, under the radar, like hard working, no one likes us, it's us against the world mentality that Philadelphia had. And as a kid that was bullied throughout school, that was the first team I felt I'm part of that. And it all stemmed from there, really. And I'd like to think over time that drove me into PSN. I knew that it was me against the world, because realistically, who was going to give a 19-year-old kid a shot or a time of day, you know? Like, if I post an article in an Eagles Facebook group at age 19 in England, no one's going to care what I had to say, and I had to overcome that and try and earn that respect. And I'm really lucky in a platform now where I have earned a lot of your respect, at least I like to think. I know there's some of you that still absolutely despise the man bun and everything I stand for, which is cool, alright? I have no problem with that. You're entitled to your opinion. But we're out here riding with the people that are going to ride with us, and we're very lucky to have that. So that's, again, hopefully the whole PSN picture complete now. On to some Twitter questions, and JeordieFighter141 says, who is my favourite Eagle? I know we've discussed it before in a Discord stream, but what hill will you die on? Favourite Eagle? I want to say Captain Cravon. I think the story with Captain Cravon is amazing. I had such a crush on his tape when the Eagles first acquired him. We did the film room on this channel. And then one game against the Rams, was live tweeting the game. It was like 4 AM in England. My body clock was ruined. I was on no sleep. And I said Captain Cravon, and the Captain Cravon meme started. His mother then followed me. Cravon then followed me. And it's just been the most wholesome thing. So seeing that guy just continually grind, find his way onto the depth chart, just push and push and push, like, it's been amazing, man. So big ups Captain Cravon, a massive Captain Cravon stan here. I hope that he can win out a role against Nickel Roby-Coleman, but can he do it? We'll find out in a film room coming soon. What hill will I die on? If we're just staying strictly Eagles related, I think I'll die on the hill that probably Sam Bradford being a good quarterback. I've got a Sam Bradford jersey at home. Many of you guys know that, and I'm sure we'll bring it out for a special occasion. But so what I'm proud of is Boston Scott. What I'm not so proud of is that Sam Bradford was a good quarterback. And I'll forever defend that 7-game stint in 2015 because it was a little bit sensual. And that win over the Patriots where Sam Bradford beat the Patriots, it's just juicy. It's just juicy. Ollie Kemp says, how many chickens would it take to kill an elephant? So we're gonna, Jesse Chen says, what's my real name? I mean, it's Liam Jenkins. It's not fake. Just Liam. I'm always just say, just Liam. Tommy Moore says, what's it like being a British internet scout? Hey Adam Kaplan, how you doing? Do you know what? I enjoy it. I love it, man. Like, I think it's interesting because you never really know what the response is going to be to what you put out. And I think the bigger the channel grows and the bigger the company grows, the more people who haven't heard of you before have that almost preset opinion of, oh, this guy sucks, this guy's got a high-pitched voice, why do I care what this British guy says, stick to soccer, and you've got to, I love that, I love encountering that behaviour, and knowing that after they watch a video, they might actually change their mind, and if they don't, they keep coming back because they hate it anyway, and it's kind of fun. Wentz is elite says, who would I rather lose, Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson, or Howie and Cox? I almost had to think about that for a second, but definitely Howie and Cox. Like, you've got yourself a very good head coach who's emotionally intact with his team, who has guided them through more adversity than the last 5 years of my love life, and has somehow kept his head screwed in the right direction, got them to 3 consecutive playoff berths, and a franchise quarterback who is clearly one of the best in the league. So GMs, you know, they can change, and I think you're seeing those GM trees now where Andrew Berry was part of the Howie Roseman tree after getting such a great endorsement from Shashi Brown, who he's now gone to work for again. You've got Joe Douglas, the Aussie Newsome side of things, who then went to the Jets, but now obviously the Eagles have Andy Weidel, who was under there, so it kind of never ends with GMs, and I know it's the same with coaches, but finding someone who fits the mold of the players and can bring the best out of them is hard to do, regardless of which tree they've come from. So I do feel as though I would take Doug Peterson and a franchise QB. But that's it for your questions, guys. Hopefully this has been a nice, fun watch on a Sunday afternoon. Again, thank you so much for all of your support from myself, Liam Jenkins. If you want to subscribe, it'd be amazing if you could. My Twitter is @LiamJenkinsPSN. I'll see you soon.